a girl born into a hopeless place. Yosemite is only a week old, but every day has been a struggle. Her mother is a refugee. She travelled overland from Iran in search of a better life. But the only home her daughter knows is a place called the jungle. It's a shanty town on the shores of the English Channel, a makeshift camp that's home to nearly 10,000 people. They come here for many reasons, fleeing war, persecution and poverty. Some come here to disappear, others wait for their papers to be processed, and many take extraordinary risks to try and reach the United Kingdom.
No one can stop them, nothing can stop them coming to Kale. They want to move to UK, they get that in their mind, in their blood.
The jungle is a place where Europe's refugee crisis has reached its breaking point. There has been a makeshift camp near Calais since early 2000, and French authorities have so far been powerless to shut it down.
Nous devons démanteler complètement, définitivement, le campement de la Lande.
The jungle lives up to its name. It's a lawless place where murder, assault and rape are commonplace, where police rarely enter, and attacks on journalists are on the rise. It's chaotic, but also highly organised. The jungle is a fully functioning small town, and there are more international restaurants here than in Calais.
We try to make discotheque, bar, restaurant, to make our own life in this place.
Life here swings between fear, despair and hope.
If you can survive in jungle, you can survive everywhere.
I've come to this camp to find out what the future holds for the people here and experience, most probably, the last days of the jungle.
When we arrive here, there's nothing. It's a bush. We cut it, we make our own life here.
So if they come in and try to destroy everything and get rid of everything?
No, everybody here, we know that we don't have power to fight French government. We believe in God. So even though they destroy this place, we believe that where we are going or what we will do tomorrow will be better than this.
That's probably not too hard. Zimarko takes us through the winding alleys of the camp. Most people live in tents, although some are fortunate enough to live in caravans or shipping containers. The conditions are poor and there's open sewage everywhere. It may not be pleasant, but life here has found a way, a type of orderly chaos. There are shops, restaurants, enterprise. Owners buy produce in town and mark it up in the jungle. They don't like being filmed. They're worried the police will come in and confiscate their property.
Many people here aren't that friendly, and I describe some of them, quite frankly, as downright hostile. And one of the reasons is because they're just really sick and tired of the media and everybody coming in here and involving themselves in their lives. Another reason is this collective experience of trauma that many people are already suffering from the countries they came, and this general distrust, I suppose, of outsiders.
There are around 1,000 unaccompanied minors here. UNICEF says many are being abused, forced into slavery or criminal activity.
والله صعب شديد يعني متأثر يعني وقاعدين في كالي يعني كالي مش أمان. والله الحياة صعبة شوية يعني الحياة صعبة في كالي شوية يعني في أمان الحمد لله بناكل بنشرب الحمد لله ما مقصرين. والله الأمان يعني 5%.
Under the law, France is responsible for their safety, and those with relatives in the UK are legally allowed to relocate there. But aid workers say that isn't happening. Ashraf, who's a refugee from Sudan, explains that life in the jungle has a maddening effect on its residents. Some have taken to drinking and drugs to cope. Others are shells of who they were.
A lot of them have shock. Is this Europe? A lot of them, they don't know that. And the idea in their mind, when they try to come here, it's different from this. Some people come here that they will, when they come, soon they get house, job, and they get their family. No, it may take 1 year, 2 years.
Many people here decide they can't wait that long.
في المرة الأولى كان الوضع صعب جدا، لكن المرة الثانية والثالثة بقيت عارف أي حاجة هنا في كالي، وبعرف بتصرف كيف مع البوليس الفرنسي. اليوم حاليا اللحظة اللي أنا واقف فيها أصلا عندي النية أمشي وأحاول أشوف طريقي، لكن يوم من الأيام حكون في الإنجليزي.
We've come back to the jungle. It's almost around 9 o'clock at night, and the reason we've come back now is because, according to the people who live here, the situation and the atmosphere really changes between the daytime and the nighttime, and this is where things get tense. And this is also the time when the migrants who are so desperate to get across to the United Kingdom try to do anything they can to smuggle themselves aboard lorries that are crossing the English Channel through the tunnel.
On the outskirts, the jungle seems eerily quiet. But as you move in, it comes to life. Patrick will show us around, not just because he knows his way, but because in a former life he was a judo champion and a bodyguard. The jungle is not a safe place to be, especially in the dark. Those who live here tell us stories of violence, robbery, murder, a crime-ridden slum where police won't go. It's law of the jungle, where problems are solved one way or another. We end up at the fence. Those brave enough need the cover of darkness to break through the barriers.
Il y a toujours des CRS qui contrôlent les autoroutes, quoi. Mais souvent, il y a des bagarres, ça passe ici, tu vois. Alors les gens essayent de couper les trucs là. Dans les CRS, ils tapent des bombes lacrymogènes. Ça passe toute la journée, toute la nuit, tous les jours, non, ça passe.
Tonight, most of the people in the jungle are concerned with other things. Inside the wire, there are celebrations. This procession is part of an elaborate Ethiopian festival. It puts the police on edge, but they don't move in. It's not the only music in the camp. Just down the road, Beyonce. In a place where people live hand to mouth, somehow they've managed to set up a nightclub. There are strobe lights and cold beer, and no shortage of punters eager to drown their sorrows. Light unravels again over northern France. The jungle residents are slowly rising. Another long day of waiting stretched out before them. Others are up in Calais too, truck drivers whose fates seem tied to this place.
Here is storage.
Nick has been a truck driver for 20 years. He's driven the world, even through war-torn Syria. But he says this route is the worst he's been on.
I have friends that they stop him in the middle of the road and they beat him. For what? Why? It is dangerous because probably we will kill other people too. Because of what? Because we're fighting things in the middle of the street, in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the night, we cannot see. And all of a sudden we are driving and we're in front of goods, pallets, other materials, things like that.
The aim of throwing things on the road is to slow the trucks down enough to jump on them. The British government is paying for a $2 million wall to be built that will stretch alongside the jungle. Truck drivers say it's welcome, but won't stop anyone. Many people don't see their futures jumping onto trucks and over walls, at least not right now. Some of the refugees in the camp are going to school to learn French or English. Teachers say they've never met students more eager to learn.
Vraiment, sincèrement, ils sont très motivés. Ils ont une volonté très solide, ils sont très motivés. Ils viennent chaque jour là. Il y en a même quelques-uns qui sont vraiment brillants. Ils viennent pour apprendre. Vraiment, on sent leur volonté d'apprentissage.
Refugees themselves say that's what inevitably separates success and failure here. Amir is one of the rare success stories.
So what is life like for you now? Because you're not here.
It's amazing. A lot of people, they don't know nothing about France. They living here in jungle, they don't know nothing about France. Now I'm so happy because I had my document for 10 years and I hope soon I get my nationality. I'm so happy to be here.
Amir is only back at the camp to visit his friends, a routine that reminds a 25-year-old how lucky he is now to walk out of here and never call the jungle home again. The jungle may be closing, but that may not be enough to stop the flow of new arrivals. France wants to relocate everyone to other camps, but many say they've got no plans to move. They like it here, they have more freedom. But it's a ghetto with no oversight. People are subjected to horror here every day, including the most vulnerable residents, children. And looking out for them is not the priority of the French government, nor any other. This has all been described as a humanitarian catastrophe. But as they say around here, welcome to the jungle.